Mike, NoStressMike.com, talking about war and guns. Why? Why do we have war and why do we need guns? Like I say, when you are not prepared for whatever event happens, if you're not prepared, it's called a shit it's the fan situation. If you are prepared for whatever the situation calls for, then it's a event, an exercise in your preparedness. And so war can be done, justifiable war can be done for territory, looking to take over land or taking over resources. It could be stuff like that. And you're thinking, oh, wow, that doesn't sound good. Well, if you lived off somewhere where they had one little creek feeding the water to you and somebody eliminates that water, there will be a war over resources. You're going to need water. So, and it will be, I guarantee for you, it'll be justified. And so there's going to be times that this is going to happen. You saw this in the Bundy with going up against land management or whatever kind of crap the government kind of shit wanted to do. And so there's limits. Just because you are sitting in your city area where you're being taken care of, providing you pay the ransom, you have to pay for everything that's being done. When you're out in the country, you don't pay for everything being done. You got to do it. So resources takes on a whole nother value. Okay, well, you need to have guns. You need to have weapons, and really, to get it down to the basics, everyday reasoning, it's a convenient way for self-defense. Now, if you've never got yourself in a situation where self-defense was an issue, consider yourself having a protected life. You've missed a lot in life. You've been living in a fishbowl. Either someone else was watching for you. Same thing. You're here in China. Okay. People say, well, I've gone to China, I don't have all the problems you have. Well, yeah, you stay close to your tour bus, somebody's going to be holding your hand as you go through all this stuff. Yes, and it'd be the same thing in Central America and all this stuff. I mean, that's why nobody drove. How many people you know of that drives like that? Drives from one end, Central America to the other end in North America. I mean, this, it doesn't happen. And when you do, you need to be prepared. And so things happen where you have to defend yourself. And firearms is a easy way of doing it. And now, see, that doesn't have nothing to do at all with our constitutional duties. Now, I know a lot of you think you are free. I told you, I've tried to make a video talking about freedom, what freedom is, and I can't do it. I can't put it in words. And but I'll tell you one example is you think you are free. And what have you done to pay for that freedom? What have you done? Some people will say, well, I've spent my time in the military, I've paid taxes, and I obey the laws. This is what you think you're doing to pay for freedom. You really think freedom is that cheap? It's not. Even the ones that have served in the military. Just because you served in the military doesn't mean you paid the price. I started paying when I was 18 years old. I'm 69. I'm still paying. Freedom is something that's never paid for. You always have to put up. The firearm is one of those things that are required from you to be a free person. Even if you don't know how to use firearms, you need to have them. And the reason is you may need help from someone, and they're going to need a firearm. The Second Amendment, the Constitution, that is our, I don't want to say guarantee, but that's the best word I can come up with, that regulates the government. It doesn't regulate us, we the people. So in other words, we have a constitutional duty to have firearms to protect ourselves from tyranny, a government that doesn't know how to govern itself anymore. It's gone to the side of corruption. When treasonous acts are being performed by the government on a regular basis, you are under tyranny. You need to have to do your constitutional duties, and that is to be armed. You really should know how to use these firearms. You need to be prepared. You need to be, when I say prepared, you need to be prepared with not only weapons, but everything. Because we cannot count on our government to take care of us like they do here in China. The government takes care of all their people. If that's what the kind of life that you want to be taken care of, this is the place you need to come to. Personal responsibility is what happens in the United States. We have, in the United States, Americans have the freedom to control their own destinies. We can do what we want to do. We can go places, and all of this is all down to the basics of firearms. I know I used to think freedom of speech was the big thing. They said you need firearms to guarantee the freedom of speech. We already lost our freedom of speech. We're being censored, and then the only loud noises that you hear are under government control. So we have morals and a moral obligation along with a constitutional obligation to arm ourselves. To arm ourselves not only with firearms, but with knowledge. And with that, we have a chance to be brave. We have a chance to enjoy freedom real freedom. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.